Well, welcome. This is the
Panda.
Millennium.
Podcast.
I'm Daniel,
I'm Levi.
Alan.
Aaron.
and special guest.
Kylie?
Yo!
Oh, special guest.
So,
So she's not really a special guest.
well,
Ouch.
she's.
This is
No, as in
I mean,
no, like you're part of the company.
her
so it's
IQ's
like
not very high.
No,
And Aaron's not getting
she-
anything for Christmas.
Whoa.
she's part of the
How about
company.
that,
She's
IQ?
just
Well-
not usually here for the podcast. So,
She's-
by special guest, I mean not here all the time.
That's
but-
a
By
pretty,
special
pretty
guest,
pretty
she's
historic moment, though. You'll
by
be the
definition
first.
she's a special guest because she's not a normal guest.
Special guest speaker.
So what does that make her? Special.
Okay.
Also,
Wow.
the first woman.
Okay,
on the
but not
podcast.
like
Ooh,
that
yeah, there we
special.
go. We're
I'm
actually
not
branching
implying
out,
that.
and we're including women now.
Yeah, so now a lot of our topics
So
will work.
you can't say those comments that I've
Can't
already
say we're
heard.
sexist if we have one.
One female and 4 white males. Yeah, we're
Yep, there we
really
go.
breaking barriers here.
Maybe racist, but not sexist. That much.
Yeah.
So-
Let's take it.
Let's go from here. Did we want to start with one of yours or one of mine, Aaron?
I guess you can. Like, could you? Like, I was sitting, doing my business on the toilet, and I was looking at my little pics, and my legs really started to get numb, and I was thinking if someone sat long enough, and like, when your legs get numb, it's just like the blood's getting deprived to your body. Could you like do that long enough that you actually have to lose the limb?
Yeah.
That you.
Technically, yes.
Yeah, that's what there's amputees and stuff like that. You
That
know.
just sat on the
That's
toilet
not
for too long and just
I
like
just
lost
had
it.
a log.
it
Well,
depends.
no,
It's
we're
not
not talking
talking
about
about-
someone sitting too long. You just
No,
said if
I'm
you had
talking
the
about,
circulation
like,
cut off.
from
no,
sitting?
I'm not talking about circulation
in
cut off.
sitting?
I'm talking about like you are doing an action and you like mentally you know you're gonna lose the limb, but are you? Would
Okay,
you
so
still like
would someone
go
mentally be able to
to,
stay,
like, would
seated
stay seated
long enough
exactly
to be to the point where
Like,
they would
like?
amputate?
I
Is
think
it,
it
is it a
depends.
point to be worried about, or are you going to get like so uncomfortable somewhere through it that you're just going
You'd
to
probably pass.
stop?
You'd probably pass out beforehand, and then
If you're choking your neck, maybe. but-
no. If
Well, enough
if the
pain,
blood
like, it doesn't-
circulation's not going through your legs and everything like that, it's going to cause circulation problems to the rest of your body. You could eventually pass out. It's like when you lock your legs. You know, you're cutting off the circulation, and if you stand locking your legs long enough, you'll just pass out, and that's your body's way of getting you to stop fucking locking your legs.
So then there wouldn't be a way for you to just like
I don't.
be.
I
I
don't
think
like
it depends on the
make your own
situation. Because say you're in a
limb.
situation where if you didn't sit, like if you stopped sitting down, you would die. You could probably push your
But
body
you would
to stay
probably
sitting down.
shift
Well-
and try to get yourself into a position where you
Say
weren't.
you couldn't even shift.
Because
Like,
then
you're
it would
stressed
change.
Yeah,
out.
but then
it would
Say
Say
we're
change your
stuck
weight.
in like a
Tortured.
saw
But at that-
situation.
at
There was a pressurized bomb below
Okay,
you.
but at that
Yeah.
point, you're not just sitting there and fighting it mentally. Like, are we talking? Because then,
Yeah,
you know,
I guess
then
I
all
was
of a
just
sudden
kind of
there's
saying like, could
outside
you like wake up one
circumstances.
day and just be like, oh
Oh,
my gosh,
no.
I can't feel my leg anymore. It's like shriveled up.
You know, nothing sucks more than waking up and something not working the way that it should. Like, I've woken up before when I fell asleep with my arm behind my head, and I literally thought my arm was down here and I was moving it. And I was like, what the heck? And I was like, what the? And I had to put more effort, and all of a sudden this arm just flopped right on me. I was like, oh my gosh! And it was totally asleep, numb, and done. And
With
then
that lead-in, I thought that was going a different direction.
She's like, he's gonna
I thought, while it was numb, I might as well, you know.
okay, no, that actually didn't cross my mind.
He's like, no, it was my left hand. It was right.
If it was the right, I'd have been like, okay, let's try this out. No, there was another time.
I just remember waking up and having the worst like pulled muscle in my neck that I was scared because I couldn't do anything, and we actually like drove to the doctors, and I just remember every time going over the speed bumps it was just like, oh gosh, oh gosh. And then we get there and they're like, They're like, can you do that? Nope. Can you do that? Nope. You'll be fine. just stretch it. Just do the things I did that you said hurt. Do those slowly, and you'll be fine.
Kylie could give you story after story about doctors who did that.
Suck.
No kidding.
Suck so much.
That kind of reminded me of my story when I was like really hopped up on caffeine. Did I ever tell you guys that story?
No.
Which one?
It involved me trying to go to sleep.
The first step is admitting it.
Well, okay, no, so this was back when I was still in college and I was doing like 18-hour days and barely getting any sleep and everything. So caffeine was a large part of my life. And so one day I discovered No-Dose, the caffeine pills. They're horrible. I wouldn't recommend them. But I decided to take like double the recommended dose. Plus, I had like
someone's asking for it.
Well, no. So I also had like energy drinks during the day too, and so I'm like super hopped up that day.
And nothing went through your mind like this might be stupid.
This might kill me.
No, it did. I just really needed
it could kill him.
He needed to get the homework done.
My life was busy. I couldn't.
I remember.
I couldn't.
I
couldn't risk stopping for even 2 minutes. So I did that, and I'm like, okay, well, I think I'll be fine and everything. And then that night, I went and tried to go to sleep, and I was just like sitting there laying down and everything, and I was I was kind of dozing off, and then all of a sudden, I don't know where it came from. I'm assuming it has to do something with the caffeine, but I had a thought in my mind of, you're not going to wake up, Alan, because you took too much caffeine. You're going to fall asleep and stay asleep forever. I freaked myself out so badly that I was up for the rest of the night because I was so scared that if I fell asleep, I would not be able to wake up. It was the freakiest moment of my life. And then I just went to sleep the next day, and I was perfectly fine. And I'm like, I don't even know why I was
What you
thinking
failed
that.
to realize, Alan, is you never woke up. Welcome to heaven.
I wouldn't call that.
Or,
Yeah.
or welcome to hell. I hope you-
That is kind of when my life started
Cheers
taking a downturn.
to
so-
We're not really cheering hell.
Well, we could be, but
Kind of did, but
We're cheering the fact that I might be in hell and not realize it.
yeah.
So.
So that's kind of the same type of thing. This one gets a little, but I woke up one morning, and if you guys haven't ever remembered it when you were a kid, but waking up with pink eye totally
Your
sucks.
eyes like
Because your
crusted
eye is
over,
crusted over,
and
so you
can't-
open your eye
can't
and you're
see.
like, what the freak?
And then you kind of like touch it, and you can.
Oh,
feel
and you
like,
feel that, and you're like, ah, what is that?
You can't see, and you're
Oh.
freaking out. You're like, I'm blind.
Well, yeah, like I tried
I've
to open
never
my
had
eyes,
pink
and
eye.
you're just used to your eyes opening when you want your eyes to open, and so when they don't, you're like, what the? And I was like, and I pried this eye open, and immediately regretted it.
Yeah.
And then this eye, it had the crusts of hell, and oh man, it's bad. It's so bad.
I remember my mom and dad having to hold me down, like
To get
to get
the
eye
eye
drops.
drops in
Yeah.
there.
That scared the crap out of me. Like eye drops.
Well,
I didn't like anything in my eye.
Let me tell you something about eye drops, okay? With eye drops, it's not the liquid in your eye or anything like that. It's the fact that you're dropping them from a distance, and it falls and it hits your eye, and it kind of startles you because your eye is a weak point. They need to come up with a eye drops bottle where it just kind of like gradually comes out into your eye, or it doesn't freak you out.
You know, you could just put
I
the
just-
bottle right on the side of this spot right here. My sister used to do that, and because they were scared of putting it there, so they'd just squeeze it out here going sideways, and then it would just trickle into their eyes.
I've always had that fear because I'll be watching fireworks and I just know the debris is going to fall into
I
my
know.
eye.
I'm
And
pretty
it
sure
has.
we
We
talked about this
it,
already.
But I was doing a
And it was
callback.
what, like
it was the size of
the size of your
grenade.
fist, right?
That little spark. I'm sorry, the humongous.
Yeah.
I remember a day when I was there with fireworks. It didn't seem that bad to you.
Yeah.
But I started listening to Pandora again too, and I just have my Christmas station on there, and I can listen to Christmas music any time of the year. But I'm kind of wondering, like, do I like the Christmas music or do I just like the sleigh bells? because
So you
Well,
just
that's
need
basically
Levi
what
to,
makes
Yeah,
Christmas
that's what
music.
makes
you
Christmas
just need
sad.
Levi to
too,
add a
like-
sleigh bell track to every song you like.
You'd be like,
and
heck
that's
yeah.
like yeah.
Well, that's kind of what happens in that one song that I made, where right at the end it's like. I have it with the.
Yeah, but it needs
It's
to be
technically
more
a tambourine.
no,
It's
be
not
more like
sleigh bell.
yeah, and then you get all giddy. You're like, yeah, Christmas.
So yeah, you have that, and then you also have that like Christmas
The-
bell.
Oh, and the wood
Oh,
that like.
The-
Glop. Yeah.
Oh my
I don't
god.
know how you guys can do Christmas music.
Glock.
I'm
I
with
just
Alan.
don't
I
know.
hate Christmas music up
Yeah.
until like December 10th. Like any Christmas music before that, I
week
hate
before
it.
my birthday.
No, the week before for me, I mean, I have had bad experiences though, because at the bookstore when I
Yeah.
worked there, they started Christmas music the day after Halloween.
Yeah.
The
the
day
November
after
1st,
Halloween,
remember
and they
that.
did it nonstop until the New Year's Day.
The
It's
worst
like 2
song
full months.
is like the baby. It's cold outside.
No, have you ever
Chris-
heard the?
no,
That
no.
song.
Have you ever
I
heard
mean,
the
I
dog?
mean, like the stuff behind it, like
Oh,
the-
when they're really
what they're
singing
talking
song.
about. Yeah,
Like no one
Dude,
really
this
understands
song.
it except
They're like,
parents that are like stop
kids
singing
are
that.
singing that like in school for like recitals, like "Baby, it's cold outside."
That
You're like,
is kinda
stop it,
sad.
go home. You're never talking to the other sex again.
Well, I don't know. My feeling about it is during the year, I'm like, yeah, I want to hear it. Yeah, I want to hear it. And around October 31st, I'm like, oh, here it comes. Everyone's going to start playing it now. And then I'm like, at this point, I want to really start listening to my Christmas music that I've been listening to the whole year. And I forget about it till December 26th. I'm like, damn it. And I start playing the songs again,
Yeah.
and then I've missed it.
Here's my problem with Christmas music. It's not how long they play it or anything like that. It's the fact that it's the same, like, 20 songs sung by different people in different ways, and so you've heard like Rudolph the Red-Nosed Reindeer 5 different times in the past 2 hours. On top of that, you've heard Frosty the Snowman.
The one there's like always
you
the
know.
one where it's like just the chorus of kids singing it.
Yeah, you know, or the famous like R&B singer singing it really slowly and
Wow.
methodically, and
That's
you're like,
the worst.
you're like, this song is supposed to be upbeat and fun. You're ruining it, you know. It's like
Best one.
Rudolph.
Oh my god.
Okay, stop.
Thanks, Elton John.
Just stop.
Yeah, exactly.
Mariah Carey, "All I Want for Christmas."
Yeah.
That's the best.
Well, that's why I
one.
like those 3 Punk Goes Christmas songs that I got, because they're not, I mean, if you've heard definitely one of them, they're not anything like those Christmas
Yeah,
songs
they're
that you used
new,
to.
and I'm like, there's Christmas.
Pop, you know, poppy.
And you hear new Christmas songs every once in a while, you know, everything like that. But there's just needs to be an avenue for Christmas songs, and I'm okay with the oldies. But I
But
want to
they're
hear some
oldies,
new
yeah.
ones. I don't want to hear the same 20 oldies all
Yeah,
for 2
someone needs
months.
to come up with some
I,
ones.
I determined if we ever did start a band, we would have one entire album that was entirely new Christmas
Are you
songs.
serious?
Yes.
Had you planned that?
Yes.
Back in, are you?
Yes.
Who's crazy enough to even
Because
think
no,
that?
here's
He
the
was
thing.
a kid.
It's easy. All you have to do is have Christmas lyrics and add sleigh bells in there, and
So
you
you
can make
already
it
knew it.
anything you want.
You already
You
knew
already
about the
knew
sleigh
what
bells.
you did, yeah.
You knew that.
You could just make it nice and melodic and everything, and add some sleigh bells in there, and make the lyrics about Christmas, and there you have a whole Christmas album.
No.
Wow.
Great.
If you just had to give your kid 2 things to help them survive in the world, what would they be? Like, that's all you can
Is
give them.
it
2 things.
The only thing
Any
you can
Yeah.
do.
And
Knowledge and infinite money.
2 things you have now.
Oh.
Because I actually
Nice
have
though.
to
Wow, that was like
That's
off the
that's
fly.
what I was thinking too. I was
No,
like,
you weren't.
I was
Good job.
thinking really good looks, because that can
Because
anyone
they're not
buy-
getting it from me.
Yeah, he's like. So
really good looks. Do you think
I
that
said-
I'm gonna be on?
But I said what
really
you
good
could give
looks?
now, so you're saying that nowhere in your genes there's the potential.
Well, Aaron,
Well,
we
obviously,
got we got 3
Well, if you're
examples
seeing
of
somewhere
no.
in your genes, you can be like,
5.
and I give them all the knowledge of my generations.
This is an
Like
Assassin's
Assassin's Creed.
Hey, yeah.
We're not,
Yeah.
We don't have access to it.
I'm gonna
Animus.
give my kid the bleeding effect. When you get stabbed, you die.
I
Isn't that like
will have
hemo-
given my children
Hemophilia.
instincts to protect
No, I
themselves.
think that's the
Fine. What about
scared of
two
blood.
material things?
Wait, what
Two
is
material
hemophobic? No.
things?
Hemophilia?
Yeah.
Is
it
that
is.
where?
Whether they can't clot.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
That is.
I got it.
That's the thing.
What?
Mine.
A tablet and infinite internet access.
You don't
You don't have
infinite
infinite
access.
I
internet
can pay for
access.
infinite internet access. I mean to the extent that they'll always have access to the internet around.
Whatever. I'll give it to him.
Because with that they can learn anything they want with the
Okay,
internet.
hear me out. My saxophone and a hat.
Okay.
Okay, wait.
I
why?
totally understand it. You don't understand?
Hat in front of you, saxophone out.
Oh my god.
Ching, ching, ching.
Without the knowledge to play it though, they're screwed. This is what it sounds like.
That's.
They can figure it out. They practice.
You start in Salt Lake City on the street
Trial
corner.
by fire.
Eventually, you start learning and you start going out to places where people actually give money when you do things well.
Trial by fire.
See,
'Cause, I mean, have you heard some
I
of
don't
the
even
street
think I'd give them
performers?
anything. I'd just be like, here's a rape whistle.
That's
No,
something.
here's a rape whistle. Don't blow it.
I'd just
Nice.
be like, no one's gonna give you things in life.
Start
Get it
with
for
me.
yourself.
Well, that's what I'd be like. It's like,
But
well,
my friends all got 2 things. Yeah, well, that's 2 more than you're gonna get.
well, that's too bad.
How about you?
I don't know. Like everything that I can think of that I would give would either like disintegrate or like not have a use eventually. Like the tablet will eventually be obsolete. They'll look at it and be like, "Thanks for this flat paperweight."
Paperweight.
But by then they'll have learned enough to be able to make a ton of money and just buy the newest tablets.
Would they have
See?
learned though?
Yes.
But
Because
would they
if
be called
can't
tablets?
What?
I said, but would they be called tablets?
Yeah, they might not be.
What do you mean?
What they're called? Hollow screens.
I'm pretty sure we're not going to get that far.
I think we could.
I think so. Fine.
I'm
Whatever
diehard on
the
that, but
whatever the
lightsabers
most
are coming.
recent technological advance
Lightsaber
that
tablet.
Boom.
they can
Cuts
access
through
the
anything.
internet from. That's what I
Okay,
would
Okay,
say.
Don't touch the side. Don't touch the side. Grab. Okay.
Ow!
Falls through the table.
Why does it? Why did anyone make this?
I wasn't good. I was still thinking like a lightsaber, which is like,
like an iPhone with a lightsaber app that can come
Yeah.
out.
Wow.
Oh, a real lightsaber app? Not
Yes,
just
duh.
stupid.
Real.
lightsaber
That's
app.
the
It would
point.
just be the
So
app.
okay,
Not a-
but dissolving things. What would you give them?
Like enough money to get started and the knowledge that I know that would help them eventually.
There you go. That's good.
Split apples, dude.
I'd
Okay.
give them my job.
So
to
real
go.
quick, I just have a funny story because it's on my.
I guess I won't
Yeah,
have time
on
to
my
give them
head.
anything.
Oh no, he won't. We just
No,
kind
we
of
said
we just
to
kind
your-
of
Alright,
we
you
said
would
to
have
kids.
Oh, I'm sorry. I've never been have kids, so.
I guess
Sorry,
that question
that's
didn't
depressing.
consider all of us. I'm sorry.
That's alright. That's
No,
alright.
go.
So what were you gonna say?
No, finish your thing and then I'll tell my story.
Can't even, I was gonna give him my job. At any
You
age.
really hate your job.
Well, I moved to a better job. At least I'm giving him something with a medium okay pay.
Gotcha.
Do him
For a
that.
little kid, it'd be pretty
Yeah,
sick.
he'd be like,
Yeah, I mean, he'd be so happy.
But remember, he's got to support himself. These
He's
are
gotta
the
go to
only
school.
2 things we're giving them.
Yeah, but
So I'll
he
give
can do
him
whatever else he
that.
wants.
And
You could just be like,
my tools. Just give him all the
really
tools.
loving
Tools are
foster
boom.
parents.
2 of them right there.
Alright, what were you gonna say?
Okay. So just a funny story that happened to me. Okay, and I just want to precursor this by saying I am in no way saying anything against this person I'm talking about. Okay, this has no. It's not against you. It's not you guys. I don't know. I don't know
I
this
didn't want to be
person.
that person.
I don't know what he's like or anything like that. this was just kind of a little funny situation based on his physical appearance, okay? So I'm not saying...
you're being shallow.
No, I'm not...
So there was a tuba present.
No. So it was someone who had kind of a facial deformity. Okay, their eyes looked a little weird, shape and everything like that. If I just saw them walking down the hall, it'd be one thing. But I was going to the bathroom at work, and right as I opened the door, he was right there in front of me. I've never tried so hard not to scream at someone in real life. Because I'm thinking afterwards, I'm like, oh my god, if I had screamed, what would this guy have thought,
That would have been the best. To just see you, scratching at the, wall,
I just
trying to
so
climb
bad. It. But it was just one of the most freakiest real life moments I've ever had. I was opening the door, I was expecting people, and that maybe there was someone there.
Ow.
I'm saying I was expecting people. It's not that I wasn't expecting someone to be there.
Oh, okay.
Okay? But
Glad you corrected that.
yeah, but when I opened the door,
Well, he was
not
right
what I was
there.
expecting.
I
If
mean,
he was right there, normally I
that
probably
scares
would have been
people
freaked out
You'd be like,
anyways.
Whoa, oh man,
But
you
I
scared
didn't,
me.
for that split second, I didn't process what I was looking at.
You should have just been open it up. I just shit my pants and then go again.
I'll just hold
I'll just go later.
Well, I don't need to go to the bathroom anymore.
Oh shoot.
So that's just one of my funny stories.
That kind of brings me to a joke I kind of thought of, because I've never wanted to be a comedian, but I've always wanted to have a comedic bit,
Mm-hmm.
You're the pun guy.
Have an
Yeah,
open mic night, and you have something.
yeah,
You can
to be oh, I can maybe go up and do a little bit of thing.
Fish. Am I right?
Anyways, but what I came up with was dream catchers and cars. I find it a little ironic because I don't think your highest priority is having a good dream when you wake up going 75 miles off the freeway into a wall or something. And if you're... I know, I suck. I haven't developed it.
I have something to add on to this. I have an idea.
And if you're sleeping in your car because you're homeless, the no dream catcher is going to stop the nightmare that is your life. And so that was my joke. I want to develop it, hopefully. Streamline it, get it funny.
I got something you could add to it. So
Okay.
I have my little dream catcher at work.
Yeah.
Because I got it from, I think someone had it on their lamp and I grabbed it.
Yours on your lamp that I was using.
Okay, so it was I know it's my dream catcher, but I didn't know
It was the
that.
lamp I was
You
using.
think that's my lamp.
That used to be your lamp.
That used to be
My lamp now.
Oh, really?
The second it's out of your car.
I guess I
it's
have a
my
lamp now that used to be yours too.
No, because I was using that lamp for a while
Alright, we
now.
get it.
So have I.
Anyway,
So I have my dream catcher at work, and I think it's ironic that no one's noticed that. They're like, why? No one's mentioned, why do you have a dream catcher at work? You're not going to be dreaming or anything. Aren't I?
Well, you guys are nightmares to us.
It helps me keep
But no, I mean,
away.
I
As
think
long
that's-
as it keeps you away.
I think that's kind of a funny thing to put a dream catcher in
it's
your car
ironic.
anyway. Why
it's
are you doing
I'm
that?
pro sleeping in car.
Yeah.
Well, what you have to
what are
ask
you expecting
yourself
to do?
is, do these people understand what a dream catcher is? I
It's called a dream catcher.
I know, but we're at a day and age where people don't even know what it's called. They're like, oh, this looks great. This
I
would
love
look
this
great
Indian
hanging in my mirror.
What-
You know?
Indian
Them
spider
Indians.
web.
Yeah,
Here we
Indian
go.
spider web.
Them
Wrong on
Indians
2
just
counts.
got it right.
Native American spider.
Hey, I'm
It's,
talking from
it's the
their
wrong
standpoint.
time to start being politically correct on this podcast, Aaron. So I saw a really weird article on the news the other day. Apparently, pointing satellites at the moon, there is a picture of a shadow and something next to the shadow that looks humanoid, like it's walking. And people are just thinking it's just rocks, shaped a certain way.
Or the
But
dark side of the moon.
no,
Or did they find it on the dark side of the moon?
no, it was on the light side. It had to be on the
I know.
Yeah, no, I was gonna talk after this, but one sec.
Okay.
No, I'm gonna
Okay.
finish.
Anyways, but I saw the picture and it does look like, something walking there. I think it's pretty cool.
Do you think it's related to your UFO experience?
Yes!
And your butt hurting afterwards?
Right.
I already talked about my UFO
I
experience.
think it
And my
is.
butt
I was
didn't
using
hurt
another
afterwards.
callback, man. We gotta start using some callbacks.
Okay,
Yeah.
fine. But I want to very, very clearly say that the butt hurt idea was your guys' addition to the
No,
story.
it wasn't. You
I
specifically
did not
told
say
us.
anything
No,
about
What, don't
that.
you remember?
I figured out
Oh my
how
gosh.
to see the dark side of the moon, okay? It's very easy, okay? We put
Shine a light on it.
No, yeah. I pulled down my pants. No, so
Gosh.
during an eclipse, so we put a satellite that's orbiting around the moon, and during an eclipse we would just need to have the satellite on the side that the sun is, and so while the moon's between us and the sun, the dark side of the moon would be illuminated by the sun. So we would be able to see if there was
Well, that
anything
doesn't
back
even
there.
just have to have during eclipse. You realize that the only reason the
Yeah,
dark side of the moon,
is-
appears.
it just appears to us because it follows us,
yeah.
but the light is still
Still
there.
there.
We're just seeing like a little.
Yeah,
sliver
so
of it.
like
Yeah.
when there's a new moon, when it's completely black, the dark side of the moon is visible on the other side because of the sun. So if you put a satellite around the moon, you can picture the dark side of the moon.
Here's the
Just
deal,
go ahead.
though. Here's the deal, though. We'll never see the dark side of the moon because if the sun is shining on it, it's no longer the dark side of the moon.
You know what you mean.
I know. I'm
got
just
it.
kidding.
I just want to disprove the Transformer theory where there's like Decepticons.
God.
No, there's not.
Thank you.
Aaron, I don't know if you knew this, but that was a movie, not a documentary.
But let's
Thanks to
disprove
your
it.
insight, we can now correct.
Well, there's always.
I
no,
want NASA to release.
You know what I heard? Have you ever heard of the idea that aliens are actually all from the moon? They're just all on the dark side of the moon, and so we're thinking they're coming from far, far away. But the truth is they're just coming just as far as we are.
This is the
They've
craziest
just-
crap I've
They've
ever
just
heard.
done really good at concealing themselves on that part of the moon.
Speaking of which,
Okay, go.
like, speaking about concealing yourself, were you talking about the same thing?
I kind
Maybe?
of. I
But-
had something that it reminded me of something.
I kind of was thinking like it could be possible that because the best parasites are the ones that you don't even know exist, and so I thought it would be possible that we all have parasites in us and not
Yes.
even know.
That's actually very, very
And
true.
what if our brains were parasites, driving our bodies to keep us alive, and they just
You know it's
they
not.
can't exist
You know
without
that's
us.
not. No.
Brains
You know
can't
that's
exist
true.
without
You know
bodies.
that's not true because the brain develops with the body. Okay.
Yeah, parasites grow inside their
But
host.
how did a parasite get into the egg?
Into what egg?
The spinal column, Dan.
The egg you
The
came
egg
from.
that you came from.
Maybe-
a sperm.
maybe
Are
the
you saying the
parasites-
sperm is a parasite?
Maybe the has its own babies
He's
and puts
developing.
them in eggs.
What if a part
Like
of the
sperms.
brain was a parasite and then it developed into part of the brain?
Yeah, maybe that's why
I
we are conscious beings or something,
Yeah.
because of a parasite.
Maybe, but that's not how it works now. The brain is not a parasite.
And maybe
at
that's
that-
the reason
at
why
that-
there's no other.
So we have a non-believer.
Shun the
Shun him.
non-believer.
Well, let's get.
I want to do something with that.
Yeah,
With
I think that's a
somehow
good
coming
story,
up
though.
with a reason that
no, it's
everyone
a
has a
good-
parasite
it's a
inside
good
them,
story
and
line.
how that can.
Well, okay. How about this? Okay, I had a story that I was developing where.
how about this? I give you a different story.
No. It's going along with your thing. Jeez. No, where a meteor hit the Earth and spread something like over all of the atmosphere and everything. What if it spread a parasite?
Yeah.
Sounds like
Because the idea. Because what?
sounds like the host. No, I don't know. What
I don't
Host.
think anybody knows what you're talking about.
Yeah. Well, the idea of my story was
Okay,
that
then, never mind.
after,
Okay.
after the
Yeah.
meteorite hit and covered the Earth and whatever, things started changing. People started to change into different kind of creatures and stuff like that. And so
That's like Secreto.
no, it isn't. That's
Oh,
nothing
no.
like that.
Yeah.
I mean, it's a cry.
Secret.
Yeah, it's a cry.
That's nothing like that, because that one there was an earthquake that shifted the thing up. Yeah. And then it opened up the altar user thing, and people could start using altars.
If
But
they
it wasn't
were
a
in the
parasite.
area- I'm not saying it was a parasite. I'm
But
just saying if we
it's-
just
okay,
change one
here's-
fundamentally
no,
small
no,
thing,
it-
then
no.
it
Number
doesn't
one,
make it different.
earthquake. Number two,
How do we know
I didn't say earthquake, I said meteor.
okay, number two, people who live there are affected, not just anybody.
And-
Okay, and number three, altars aren't parasites.
And it
Aren't
wouldn't be a meteor. It would be a meteorite.
Okay, semantics.
A
Tomato,
minor
tomato.
meteorite.
All right. Nice.
Okay, anyways,
All the same.
all the same. Let's get Kylie to talk about something.
Oh.
Okay.
You're going to talk
So-
about Genora,
Why?
because it's on my list and I want to get rid of it.
Okay, what about
You want to get rid of your cat?
I don't know, tell some funny tell some funny stories about her.
Wow.
Explain how we
Hey,
got
honey.
her.
Tell us about
explain
your
how
pussy cat.
explain
Why don't you give us a prepared statement on nothing you
There
prepared?
we go.
explain how I didn't know about how the cat was coming and now it won't let me sleep at night.
Well, there we go. Heard right from the mouth.
So he was being serious when he wants to get
He's
rid
all
of it.
like, I've had some late nights with my cat, keeping me up at night.
We keep it outside now.
Outside our bedroom.
Our bedroom. Yeah.
Wow, you put a kitten out
Well-
in the wild?
The wild
Tell the
living room,
story-
yes.
tell the
It would be
story about
bad if
that.
you made him watch.
Oh, okay. So the other day we put her out on the balcony and she was walking around the balcony eating the plants that we have out there. And I guess she didn't I didn't know that she could jump up onto the railing. And so she jumps up there and it's like a peak, so it's pointed with slanted sides. And she's still walking up there like it's totally fine, and I was totally afraid she was gonna fall to her death. But she's pacing back and forth, and then she starts to try to jump to the tree that's like 7 feet away. And so she's getting ready to jump, and so I run out there and grab her off the balcony. It's like, okay, you're done. You get to stay inside forever now. And there's this crowd of kids at the below the tree. They're like, we were gonna catch her. She was gonna be okay. We were here for her if she needed us. And a whole bunch, like, there were these boys there that were like, we even went and got a blanket. And they had like a parachute style to
Wow.
catch her.
I'm
Well, they
sorry,
were
was that a
ready.
blanket?
Like, can you imagine that? It is. It is a blanket. But anyways.
Another callback.
Blanket.
Yeah. He's learning. But no, I do think that's kind of funny. Where they're like, oh, I think he's gonna jump. They're gonna jump. Oh my gosh, we got to make sure that they're gonna be okay. Like they were, if they ever came across a jumper, they were gonna save that person.
They were gonna get a blanket.
They're
Like,
right.
we'll catch you.
Oh, police officer, we were gonna catch him.
What, humans are heavier than cats, Levi?
I know. I'm like,
You
Yeah,
think
but-
12 kids are going to hold up a blanket for a guy streaming down a 10
when they get older, they might
They'll
be
get a
strong
bigger
enough.
blanket.
Yeah, come on.
Industrial strength.
They'll put a giant
Actually-
trampoline down there.
For the
telling
last
you.
time.
So you're saying these
Not
12
over
kids are
giant
going to become
trampoline. But you
firefighters?
could have told me
They
that
could.
before I said it.
Some of them
You can
could.
be anything you set your mind to,
Exactly.
except for Daniel.
Except,
No one can ever be Daniel.
except for Batman. No one can be Batman.
Actually, that's more plausible than.
Yeah, because it's not
I'm sorry, Daniel.
super.
I'm
It's just
Batman.
money.
So, talking about
I mean,
Batman.
if you were gonna say like
Nice
We're trying to
segue.
work on segues. I'm trying to work on
Yeah,
them.
we're not very
We're
good.
not very good.
Segways are
but-
weird.
I don't know why. we
Segues
even
are
tried.
hard.
Yeah, why did
But-
we even try segues?
I don't
Why
even
can't
get
we
it,
just
yeah.
go, what's next, guys? I mean,
Because that gets old.
We have a constructed list. There were
you know what else gets old?
Oh.
No, I
Your
have
mom!
much-
trying to come up with terrible segues never gets old. But
Speaking of segues.
speaking of segues, I always thought that that paradox, or like the thing when an unstoppable force meets an immovable object, that like everyone's like, oh well, one has to give or one has to do something. But I'm like, if it's unstoppable force, couldn't it either just bend around it or just pass through it? Because if it's just unstoppable, it's not. I mean,
it depends on what the force
it's not
is, right?
moving it.
Yeah, it's just so
It's
it
just
doesn't
passing
move
through
and
it.
it doesn't stop.
Yeah.
What if that happens?
Yeah, and so like why wouldn't it just be able to?
But
go
they're
around?
talking about the meeting.
Yeah, and then
So
they
meeting is
meet,
not
and
going
then
around.
move.
Yeah.
So
no,
what
if-
if, say you're...
And here's the thing, yeah.
Okay,
What if,
no, what kind
what
of
if it's
object
diverted
can
off
you
its
not-
course?
what
It's
kind of
still
object
un-
can't
it's
you
still
let
still
down?
unstoppable.
No, let's use the Greek thing, okay? Who was it? Was
What
it
Greek thing?
Was it Perseus or Odysseus? Someone
Why
got.
are you asking me?
I thought someone would know. Someone got a shield that couldn't be penetrated and a sword that could penetrate everything. Okay, what happens if they put the sword to the shield? Which one would win? Because it's not unmovable and unstoppable. Now it's shield that can't be penetrated versus sword that can penetrate everything.
And that-
Paradox.
But then that's
I got
different.
it. I
than-
got
Then
it.
that's
No, I'm
impossible.
figuring it out, guys.
It can't possibly be
That's
said that
the
it goes
kind
through
of
everything
paradox.
if... Yeah.
But
So, since
Yeah,
the
I
sword
got
is
it.
the one
That's
with the...
what it's the
Okay,
paradox.
okay, I
Well,
got
which
it.
was
No,
made
guys,
first?
guys, I got it. Okay,
Well, let's got it.
so...
He can
if
solve
the-
more than 2,000-year-old paradox.
Since the sword itself can penetrate anything, so if you add the force of man behind the sword, then you have the sword and the force of man that should penetrate the shield.
No, because the shield says it cannot be penetrated by anything.
By anything, but you include the force of man, which is better than things, and you win. It's
No,
like
no,
why
no.
man beats gods in all the Greek stories.
Here's the other thing. You have to be like, well, which one was created first? And if you say both were created first, then the name is impossible.
It's true. Yeah, Levi's got a point. One had to be created first, and whichever one was created second is the one that.
What if they were cast out at the same time?
Then there was
Then
incorrectly named.
Then they're both. One
No,
is very
like
able
two-
to penetrate stuff, and one is very likely not to be penetrated. But,
But
they
it's
can't be
possible that one could be the
unpenetrable.
other.
But
and-
that's not how it works. That's not the
No,
sword.
that's
Here's
not
the
how
thing.
they
That's not
want
how
it to
they
work.
want it.
Daniel.
Yeah.
Here's the thing. You guys are trying to logically
No,
decide that.
I'm not trying to. I just
No,
successfully
yeah.
bugged the
No,
shit out of
because
it.
you said that's not how it was supposed
like
to
the
go.
chicken or
but
the egg,
No,
man.
but unfortunately, that is just how it is.
No,
Is
that's-
it Daniel though?
Mhm.
Who says that? Huh?
Okay, Alan.
Spock say that?
It doesn't. It
We'll
doesn't.
cheat the system.
It doesn't exist. Okay. Therefore, you can't determine.
Yeah, if it doesn't exist, therefore it's all what people want to make it.
Yeah,
then you can
okay,
make it
how
whatever
about
the hell
this?
you
Yeah,
want. I just made it in.
But
Refute
what
it.
what says that yours is more correct?
That's not
What says
really
that
a
theirs
paradox
is?
then.
Because theirs
I have
is
so
the
much practice.
original.
Okay, so the thing is we're talking about a paradox here that's all in the mind's eye, because you can never have something that's
Now,
not
all
penetrable.
paradoxes are in the mind's eye.
Yeah, there we go.
So
So,
they're
it's
not really
unstoppable.
paradoxes.
So,
So no, that's the thing.
It's just
And
someone
it's
who doesn't
supposed to
want
be
to
a
have-
paradox. It's supposed to be
Yeah.
unsolvable.
So
it's supposed
like, and that kind of reminds me of like, if you had an infinity
Oh
and,
my
you,
God.
and you smashed
Stop.
it against another infinity.
to. This is like our recaps of all of our past ones.
no, it's Aaron's recap because he's the only one
He's
bringing up
been
this
the only
stuff.
one.
Well, it's a rehash of Aaron's trap that you three always fall for.
Yeah.
I'm
He
done.
poses the question,
I'm done.
and you go.
So here's something. Did we ever talk about that time we went?
Oh yeah, that's
We did talk about that time.
No, that you and I went walking at night and got the cop called on us.
no, but
Was it during Alan's dark phase? Because if so,
Did they see
kudos on the people who called the cops.
No,
no, I gotta tell
it
the
was
story. I gotta
Kate's
tell the
fault.
story. Yeah, it was Kate's fault.
It's all
Okay,
bad.
so
He tells this story like it's a badge of honor,
yeah, no, it was a nightmare.
even though it was he was
so-
just so stupid.
So this was like we had just turned
4th of July, we were just about
Not
to turn 18.
19 because I wouldn't have been doing that 4th of July when my
Yeah,
18th
19. We were just about to turn 19.
because I spent 4th of July at work on my 18th
That means I
birthday.
chose not to be with you guys on that one.
You were with your family.
Yeah, plus it was 3 o'clock in the morning. So
Yeah,
chose-
I think you hung out with us.
You chose your family over high school friends? Man.
kudos, man.
Where were your
kudos.
priorities?
So, anyways, we had been hanging out all night. We'd been playing Halo in a dark, dingy basement with no windows, no circulation.
There's a window.
Not in the theater room.
Oh, you were in the theater.
Yeah.
Boom.
Dark, dingy window, dark, dingy area, no
Dark,
ventilation.
Did you?
Dingery do.
What
And then,
did you?
so at around.
Philosophical.
Are you
question.
serious? Are you serious?
Oh, I'm sorry. I'm sorry to interrupt.
Alan has the worst luck of getting interrupted. I feel so
By the way,
terrible.
while Alan's talking, we have time.
I just want Aaron to, because he hasn't listened to the
Just fucking say it, man.
No. Alan gets to speak now. Daniel's been muffled.
Man, I love your wife.
Thank you, Kelly. I'm so sorry I interrupted you. Let me continue.
Okay, finish your story.
So-
I'll tell Aaron after you're done.
So it was about 3 o'clock in the morning, and we decided to go get some air. And we lived really close to the border of South Jordan. And right across the border of South Jordan, there's this awesome park that we would always go to. Really big, lots of stuff to jump off from. And we decided, hey, let's just head over that way.
Gives you a little sympathy
Did you
to
guys-
the Mexicans.
Yeah. Did you guys know they
There's a
changed
nice
that
park
park?
over-
Mm-mm.
Yeah, it's
I don't
completely.
know.
It's
Wait, I
all
don't
like
understand.
It's
You
like,
can
it's
say
a nice
what you want
park
to say.
across the border.
It's not as cool.
Oh, okay.
It's nicer across the.
It's
so
cool.
it kind of, if you wanted to cross the border, it's because
Yeah.
you wanted to enjoy what was over there.
Exactly, right? So anyway, we start heading over there, and then, not even 2 minutes after we cross the border into South Jordan.
The Popo shows up.
No, it wasn't the police. But we start walking
And so
in
it's
this.
me, Alan,
It's
Kate.
me, yeah, it's me, us three, and this car comes up next to us, and we're like, "What's going
Just some
on?"
random
Just
car.
some random car. It's like an SUV and everything, and all of a sudden. The window rolls down and some old lady is yelling at us, "Hey, you guys are out past your curfew!" And so we're like, what? What's going on? We know we don't have a curfew because we're 18. You don't have a curfew at 18. But
So you know, so you think.
no,
No,
there's
we
not. Legally, there's not. So,
We don't think.
but Cade, being the stupid person he is all goes, "We don't have a fucking curfew," to the lady, and we're like, oh
Just great.
God. And the lady's like, "You don't use that kind of language with me." And Kate goes, "I'll use whatever fucking language I want."
Oh
I'm
my
like,
gosh.
"No, Kate, what the f are you doing?" And she's like, "I'm gonna call the cops on you guys if you guys don't leave." And he's like, "Fine, go ahead, call the fucking cops. We're not doing anything wrong." We're like, "Kate, shut the fuck up. What the fuck are you doing?" And she's like, "Fine, I'm gonna call the cops." And so we keep walking, and all of a sudden we hear from behind us, yeah, hey, we have a couple of kids here who are just out really late past their curfew. Could you head over here?" And we're like, "Oh, god damn it, Kate, what is your problem?" So instead of going to the park, we decide to just make a walk around the park because the park closes at 10, so we can't technically be in the park because that would be breaking the law. So we just make our way around the park, and then we start heading out, and right at the same place where we had gotten first stopped by that person, we see a car comes up, and then all of a sudden it shines a light at us, and we're like, "Oh, god damn it, Kate." And they turn on the police turns on their police lights, and I'm like, God. So we're sitting there, and we see the neighborhood watch car, which is what they had ended up being.
They were the neighborhood watch.
They
We
were
had
the
no idea.
neighborhood watch. We had no idea. They didn't state that. But Kate had been swearing to the neighborhood watch. And they're just sitting there in their car watching as this police officer comes out and goes, "Hey, what are you guys doing tonight?" So we explained to him that we had been inside for most of the night, that we were just wanting to get some fresh air, and that we were walking around and everything. And we're sitting there thinking, oh gosh, what's going to happen? So luckily, the police officer was a nice guy who really hated the neighborhood watch. So we got off pretty easy. He was like,
because what happens is he's like, so I hear you were yelling at them, everything like that. Why'd you do that? Everything like that. And so I piped up and I was like, well, look, they came up to us, they rolled down their window and yelled at us that we were past our curfew. They didn't say, hey, we're the neighborhood watch. Hey, are you past your curfew? Nothing. They just came and they started yelling at us. Well, we were freaked out. We have no idea who these people are. So we apologized that we swore at them, but they kind of freaked us out. We were kind of just defending ourselves. We had no idea who they were. And the cop was like, yeah, they've had a lot of break-ins and stuff around here, so they're kind of, really, really, on edge and everything like that. And so they call us for every little thing. And so, hey, if you can go somewhere else on your night walks, that would be a great help for us. And I'm like, yeah, that'd be great. And then we started talking to him, and he's like, so what were you guys doing? We're like, we were just playing, Halo online video games. I was like, oh yeah, me and my cop buddies, we play Call of Duty all the time, and we just started, talking about cool stuff and everything like that. And then when we were done, he just left and let us go and everything like that.
My favorite part was as we were leaving the neighborhood after the cop had left, the neighborhood watch lady comes up next to us and goes, "Serves you right." And we're like, yeah, whatever, lady. And we just walked away.
Yeah.
Okay.
I've been served, apparently.
Yeah. Ooh. Oh, it was funny. I'm kind of sad though because I did want to go to the park, and so I'm kind of pissed at Cade.
Well, it was just stupid, Cade just doesn't know when to keep his mouth shut.
Well, now that Alan's story is over.
Okay.
Oh yeah.
What did we interrupt you on, Daniel?
Sorry, I wanted to tell Aaron that when we do our hypothetical at the end of the night, I want to do mine.
Okay.
Because it's a really good one.
Oh, I'm sorry that couldn't wait until after I was done. Wow. Yeah!
I was trying to whisper it. You guys are the one that blew it out.
Interruption burn. Yeah!
I'm a sucker for a high five.
So
Yeah!
So with our Space Alert movie, are we going to do just the 4 of us, or are we going to do a game with 5 of us?
We can do 5.
And add Kylie into
Yes,
She
and then the
she can be
unconfirmed
pink.
threats can be in there.
Yeah.
Oh, I get to be pink because I'm a girl?
No,
we
just
do
because none
all
of
my
us
colors.
like
We
it.
have
so
Can
it's the
be.
last
We've all
because
chosen.
we know you'd like it.
We've all chosen our colors, and each color is associated with a specific position. So that's how we're going to
So
do
pink
it.
is
So I have to
Six.
assume the pink position?
Yeah.
No, not necessarily.
So you will
Assume
be.
the pink
you will
position.
be-
I got it.
I guess. Like, come on.
Yeah, sexual.
I'm sorry, I've just never heard it referred to as the pink position.
So I
Well, it
think
wasn't,
Not
but it was...
It's just
Oh, it was-
sexual
oh,
innuendo.
okay.
I think there's like the kitchen on the ship that you'll be in charge of.
And you can go make your own fucking sandwich.
There we go. We got it. Aaron
Don't worry,
succeeded.
Aaron will probably be downgraded to the ship's cook.
Okay, so I just wanted to see, because I have a
Oh,
really
it
cool,
does sound
I have a
right.
really cool idea for the Space Alert movie.
By the way,
I
we
just-
need to
But
make
we need to make
visors.
visors,
All
gosh.
of them have
On
visors.
the box, they all have
Oh.
visors.
Okay, we'll have to make that. I wanted to make jump
Jump shoots.
shits.
They,
Jump shits. You want to make little jump shits?
Jump
they
shits
have
jump
jump
color
jumpsuits on
on
the
thing too.
the box that we could
so
draw
we could
from.
draw
for
from
it.
that and everything like that. And then what I wanted to do was make a set for each room, and then just film what would happen in each room, and then put them together.
Or
You know?
even just
We would just need.
blue and
Blue
red
and
be
red.
the same, but we just
Yeah,
like
we just need
green
to change
screen and
Well,
change
no,
the
no.
color.
I thought lights. Okay, so blue
Oh,
can have
lights.
like blue
Yeah.
lights. We could even make it all the same. White lights.
But
well,
white
but
has the computer.
yeah,
and it's a little
exactly. It's a
different.
little different, but yeah, I think it would be cool.
We just
Well,
need to
I
make
agree
4
with green
sets.
screen and
5
just change
sets.
the filter on it. Or we could just change the filter on what it's actually getting anyways. Just a color filter.
Well, I think the lights.
If
would
we
be a
don't
lot
need,
easier.
if
Okay.
we don't need the green screen, if we'll just do the lights,
Because
You put a filter on the camera.
and we can just reverse the film
yeah, we
for
just
blue
reverse
and
it.
red. Yeah.
Yeah. Well, and here's the thing. I wanted to try to make
I don't know
this.
if that'll actually work with people standing in the. I don't know.
No,
it should
well,
work
we're
just
gonna
fine.
find out.
Yeah. It should be just fine. If our faces were asymmetrical, look a little weird, but our faces are pretty symmetrical.
I don't know.
We're-
Are you picking on that guy again?
Oh.
it'll look like we're doing stuff left-handed, even though we're doing
Did
it
he
right-handed.
call you right after that happened?
No.
Like,
No,
you
I
won't believe.
talked to anyone. You won't believe
He's like
what
in the
happened.
bathroom stall. This guy with bug eyes is just like waiting outside his stall.
But
He's not in here anymore.
Yeah.
but I wanted to. I mean, I didn't want it to be like low budget, but I wanted to try and make it not too expensive.
I want to make
do
an
this
awesome
movie.
film, but I don't want to spend a lot of money.
Well, I meant like I want to
gonna
see
need
how
actors
Paranormal
to play
activity.
I want to
skirmishers
see
and
how
stuff and
little.
robots.
Well, but like, so we choose one, and then
Right,
yeah,
okay.
we can. I was gonna create 3 robot costumes, and then 3 of us would wear the costumes and walk with the one person. It would take some like fancy filming and stuff like that. I had ideas. It all depends on which run through we decide to use.
We'll have
as
to get
the
those like
script.
stretch, a silver, one of those, one like, what
The
are they
silver
called?
stretch suits.
Yeah, whatever they
Yeah.
are.
But I just
For robots.
I think if we get a really good like run through with the 5 of us that we just thought was like really good and everything like that, we can add some suspense for certain things. Like we're not sure if someone's gonna make it or if someone has to go through the same like room as
Suicide kamikaze.
yeah,
Where's
or
the skirmisher?
or if someone has to go through the same room as the skirmisher. Maybe they're like sneaking around and like doing the things while the skirmisher is kind of like looking around and everything
Yeah.
like that. I think
And
we
there's
could-
that thing where
I think we can
there's
make it
that
really good.
they do that thing where the person's in the place, and then it cuts to the skirmisher, and they're like, oh, they're gonna find the person, and then the skirmisher turns around, but they're not there anymore because the time difference is a little different, but they.
So
Okay, let
I
me show
don't think
them.
I quite really caught what we were doing. So is it like we accidentally
Well,
got
if you were
sucked into
off
the
your
game?
phone,
No.
And, I know.
then
No,
maybe you
I
would
didn't want it
just-
to be that we accidentally got sucked into the game. I just wanted it to be a movie that started out like we were in the game,
Yeah.
and then
And
at
then
the very
it was
end,
just our imagination.
at the very end, it was just like our
Okay,
imagination.
so with the weird thing with the turns, that people are like, how is this even working? At the very end, it's like,
yeah, like it would go from person to person and what they were doing at specific times.
Yeah, we wouldn't do turns. We
everything.
would just like let it progress as it is, and just be like, "Oh, they're moving closer. I'm gonna do this," and then Alan would be like, "I'm gonna do this," and then they'll be
And then
like,
at the
"Oh,
very end,
Well,
we'll
shots
but, and
fired."
stand
there's,
around.
there's
and the
certain
table
things
just
like here's the
"Ah."
thing: a turn is movement and down, you know, and
Yeah.
everything like that. We could just make a scene where Alan's going over to the laser cannons in order to fire at the things. I mean, it doesn't necessarily need to be turn by turn. We
I
just
think
need
it
to.
should.
well,
be
the reason
turn
I was
by turn.
thinking it that way,
That would
is
be
because
kick-ass.
that would be really cool to make it work out that way. But I mean, you would end up making it kind of like a movie, anyways, where someone's in the room. And the skirmisher's there, and then like the skirmisher gets on him. But it was at that turn that the person with the robots came in. I was like, yeah.
Yeah, I mean, there's.
We
Yeah.
can add aspects.
It
to
would. It would definitely like I said. Once we find the actual game that we would really like to make into the movie, we just need to write the script, figure out how we were going to do it. But I think it could turn out to be
Yeah.
a very good movie.
I honestly think if we did it turn by turn, like each turn you just get a scene of what the person's doing and then go to the next person, it would look so awesome.
We'd have to do it the right way, but I agree. I definitely agree. So
Cool.
that's my thing.
That's good.
Well, do we want to?
Yeah.
Do we want to get
Still don't
into
suck
the
it.
morality question? Do we want to bring up any more
Into
topics?
The morality question.
Um,
I'm interested.
Ooh, I got something fun.
Rant.
So
Go on, give me a rant about
me
something.
me and Elizabeth have decided that PetSmart is a very horrible place for us to go to.
Yeah, because you guys got 2 hamsters.
'Cause we got 2
Oh
hamsters.
my gosh, no.
They're actually, it was really cheap. So
I don't doubt it.
because
Because no one wanted
like
them.
no, all the stuff that we needed for them we already had for our other pets.
When did you
So-
do this?
Friday.
Friday.
After you watched the hamster on the ball video?
That was-
Hamsters were on the mind. And you went out.
Well, no. So we went to PetSmart to get something for Sonic.
Sure you did.
Gosh.
we did. We got something for Sonic.
Air quotes.
You
Yeah,
realize your
2
room
hamsters.
permanently smells different. Do you?
So yeah, why does it matter? It
He's
already
like-
smells
He's
different.
like, we don't even sleep in that anymore.
No, I know
Animals
The
the
sleep in
animals
there.
have that room.
No, so we were there to pick up something for Sonic, and then we were just looking at the animals, and they got these new dwarf hamsters that are like this big, and there's a litter of 6 of them, and they're like 4 of them were asleep inside their little cage thing, but there's 2 running around and everything. Or like,
And those were
Let's
the
get
ones
the hyperactive
and
ones.
those are the ones we got.
Okay, so Sonic doesn't stop on his wheel and keeps you up, so you decide to get 2 hamsters that won't stop on theirs as well.
Yes.
And
I
like,
like
And
Alan's reasoning.
none of this fired any
Are they-
alarms in any way.
Well, I mean, when we
No.
move out, we're gonna have get a 2-bedroom where we're just gonna have the pets in another bedroom, so we don't have to worry.
are
about
there
that.
like genetically breeding them to be dwarf hamsters?
No, it's a
No,
type
it's
of
just
hamster.
it's just
They're
a
like
breed
that
of
It's just an
hamster.
inconvenient nickname.
Yeah, that's just what they're called.
They prefer little people
People
hamsters.
hamsters, yeah.
Little
But they're
rodent hamsters.
yeah, they were like we're just looking at them and they were so cute, and we're like, we gotta get a couple of them because you can't get one hamster. You can't get just one hamster.
Here's the deal.
because they're
Alan
very
makes
social animals.
as long as they're affording it.
Oh yeah, no, like
You know?
like the cost, the extra added cost.
You it's not your
You
I
thing.
hate
Fine.
animals, I guess.
Yeah,
I don't,
it's
I don't
not
know.
your
I think it adds
Well,
an extra
I like
$5
cats.
to our
Living
pet
with an
budget.
animal makes me like totally be like,
Well, it's because our animal doesn't live in a cage.
Yeah,
Our
caged animals rock.
Our animal waits for us when we get out of
When-
the shower.
To pounce on you, climb up your towel.
Yeah,
Yes.
we had good ones.
When I was visiting Jeff, they had this cat named Casper, and it was really weird because she like got on my chest and everything, and I was just like petting her, and it was all nice, but she was like really perverted or something because she would like nibble on my ear as I pet her and like purr into it, and she would do it very like.
that's how cats like kiss. Is
They
when they
bite.
nibble at you. That's like a cat kiss.
But it's
It
weird
just
that it's
means
on
that
your
they really
ear.
like it. It's just because it's dangling there. It's something to bite. Janora bites my chin.
But it's
'Cause your
interesting
chin just
enough.
dangles there.
You realize sexually people go to the ears.
Yeah, no, I
So
I think the cat
It was
wanted
the
me.
cat. It used to be a human in its past life, and it just couldn't keep its
Well,
hands or paws.
I don't know if
Nice.
Damn you! That was good. That was good. And I don't know if it's true or not, but they said when they got it from the animal shelter, they didn't know if it was a girl or a boy. And I was like, I'm like, how can you
How-
not know? But
Unless it had already
If
been
it had
fixed.
already been fixed, there's not really. I mean, depending on how they did it.
Unless you X-ray them.
Probably
Looks
not
like-
X-ray, like MRI.
Yeah,
X-ray is
yeah.
for bones.
Yeah.
It would have to be like a skin.
You can't see like a kitty.
Well, we
bone
now know
with
at
an
least.
X-ray.
At least
Boner.
so, what do you think?
It has bone in the name.
after that
X-ray.
after that almost after that like it coming onto you, what do you think? Female or male cat?
I'm pretty sure it was a female. I'd
He's
like to
hoping
say.
it's
He's hoping it's
You'd like to, I like that ending. I'd like
I know
to say.
the guy at Panda gave you that extra chicken
Yeah,
today.
I actually got enough chicken in there.
Yeah,
But I mean, Aaron got a whole breast.
Yeah, you did.
yeah.
So maybe the guy at Panda's confused. Maybe he's secretly a woman on the inside and knows that he likes Aaron. So he
Boner.
gave him extra breasts.
So
Or maybe
he's all like, this guy would look nice next to 2 breasts.
I'm just gonna give him one really big one.
Okay, shall we move on to the hypothetical
All right,
of
the
the
last
night?
hypothetical of the night.
The last one.
This is the last
That's the
topic
night.
of
Wait,
the
isn't
night.
the
At least
So
the
we
last
gotta
one.
do a
Tommy one?
segue. Hypothetically speaking, if we had
Yeah.
hypothetical questions, would this be hypothetically the last question of the hypothetically question
going.
posed of the hypothetically night? That was
No,
terrible.
that was awful.
You were working at it, then you messed it up. Okay, so I was thinking about morality the other day, you know. and-
morality? What?
morality and how morality, there's a lot of like, morality is essentially what we make it, you know. Some people who think some things are immoral, other people think it's perfectly fine. But when it comes down to it, I
That's how
really
I
thought
define
about
it.
it. Okay, I really thought about it. In your moral compass, okay, if you could do something and get away with it, okay, like for sure, you knew you were going to get away with it. Like in your world, this thing is not illegal or, you know, anything like that. What is the worst thing you would do?
but still want our listeners to like us.
I was about to say, like, let's preface this with we're probably losing followers at this point.
Well, okay, let me start and let me give you an idea of what
I like them too much. I'm not gonna listen from here.
Let me tell you what mine would be.
If you still have your innocence, leave now.
No, I would do a heist. Okay,
Fort Knox.
I don't know where, just somewhere.
Guess you've been
Okay,
on that for years.
I would love to do a Fort Knox heist, but if I could get away with it with knowing for sure that I would never be caught, that's the furthest I would go. You know, like I still wouldn't go as far as like murder or anything like that. The farthest I would go is a heist. Okay, where I stole a large sum of money or something very expensive.
See, mine would be similar, but if I knew I would never get caught, I'd get into money laundering. Because I know I'm never going to get caught.
That's
so it's
the furthest you would do.
It's an unlimited amount of money. What's
But-
further than
But
that?
here's the thing: we're not talking about doing something that would benefit us the most. I'm talking about
No, like that's what I'd
that's
do.
the furthest you go. Okay, that's fine.
Professional.
This isn't really moral, because it's like you would break into Fort Knox, but there's still consequences to breaking into Fort Knox. Like you have the option of getting caught. It's not moral to break in.
I know. I was
It's
thinking about morality, and that's how I got to
this question.
Oh, okay.
Okay.
I would probably
This isn't a
be.
morality question. It's more of a based on morality. You know, what's the furthest you would go?
I'd be a professional assassin.
So you
You'd
would
kill
kill
people.
Killing
Yes.
people would be as far as you would go.
For money. Killing people for money.
'Cause
Let's
it's
add
awesome.
that.
Like, I got class, guys.
I'm not just gonna
I'm not
kill
just gonna
willy-nilly.
kill.
Well,
But
okay,
for
so are
money,
we
the
talking
right
about
price.
are we talking about like just in general, or even are we talking
Or
about like
spies have to kill
in
them.
regards to like
Bad.
any situation? Because like there are definitely situations where like
Okay.
I would be willing to kill.
Well, but
become a
I'm
zombie?
I'm talking like if we're talking killing, we're talking about either
Cold
killing as a
blood?
hitman, cold blood. I'm not talking like self-defense. If
No, like,
a guy
if
with a gun breaks
just
into
go
my
on a
house,
shooting
I
spree.
would kill them to protect Kylie and Asher. You know?
So like just like I guess a shooting spree. Just
Yeah.
No provocation. It just wants
Yeah.
to go.
Yeah, exactly. That's the kind of stuff.
Oh,
Cold
that's kinda messed
blooded, non-self. Yeah, that's the thing.
Just saying.
Apparently, I'm messed up in the head.
No,
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 you're taking
because
money.
you're getting paid for it, and it's not mass
Oh,
murder.
okay.
Are we talking about what
This
we
is totally
want
different.
to do?
If
or
you're
feel
having sex for
comfortable
free,
to do?
you're
Well,
wrong.
that's the idea.
But if you're
The
doing it
highest
for
you're
money,
gonna go is what you are personally
well,
comfortable
what's worse
doing.
than murder? Most foul.
Nothing.
Nothing.
Like cold-blooded murder.
Yeah.
I
See,
think
so-
that's
so
probably
Certain forms of torture.
My
torture.
problem. So
Probably rape would probably go higher than murder in my book. Like molestation of any
Yeah,
kind.
type of
Those
like,
are higher.
like
Okay.
psychological.
Those are
Psychological
worse
trauma.
than-
I think that's worse than cold-blooded murder. I'm not saying cold-blooded murder's not
Yeah,
bad.
exactly.
I'm just saying those are worse.
Yeah. Okay.
Like, as far as terrible
Yeah.
things, there they are. Thanks, Daniel.
I don't know. That's a hard one because
I thought it was a good
like
question.
as of right now, I don't like I can see.
It could be a duo, assassin duo.
Well, no, it's like I can see myself.
Go into business together.
I can see myself being able to do these things, but that doesn't mean that
You would.
in the situation
Yeah.
I would. Like I could see like if it were to come to a point where I just were to decide to go kill people randomly, I could see myself doing that. But
That's not the question we're asking. We're asking right
it's-
now in your current mindset, what's the furthest you would go without provocation? Okay, you know you're not stealing
Without
back
any
something from
environmental
you.
factors.
You're not killing someone who's trying to kill you. It's just the worst possible thing you could do without provocation right now.
If
Like-
you knew there were no
If you
consequences.
knew
Kind
there were
of
no
like maybe it was
consequences.
like, here's $1 million. All you have to do is press this button,
Thanks.
and
Aaron.
Someone will die.
die.
I mean, I would do that.
All right, there we go.
So
we got it.
You murder.
Yeah,
You murder.
no,
so.
okay, so So
well,
to
that's
me,
assassination. It's murder for money.
Yeah.
yeah.
So you would assess.
So to me,
So right now you.
so
press
it's
that
hard.
button.
It's hard for me because I have a really bad mindset when it comes to things. Like obviously, I had my huge thing when I was a teenager, and I did that really easily. Like I didn't have any problems with doing it. Even once I was caught, I didn't feel bad about it. I felt bad that I got caught, but I didn't feel bad about it. And so that kind of transfers over to a lot of things. And so
here's the difference, Alan. You were in a position to do that, and you thought you weren't going to get caught, and that's why you did that.
yeah.
I would have probably done the same thing if I felt I wasn't going to get caught. That's what I'm saying is right now in my mind, if I felt I could not get caught, large heists are the worst that I would do.
No, there's some people I would kill if I felt like
Wait, you have specific people.
yeah.
I was just.
There are specific.
What is that? Is that worse, having specific people you want to kill,
Or
or
just
being
being
able
willing
to
to
kill
kill anyone?
strangers?
I think that's about the same.
It's
I
about
know.
the same.
Which one do you think's worse?
Knowing them.
No,
That's
Well, but-
that's methodic, thought
No,
out, well planned.
here's the difference.
Well, I mean,
okay.
I don't know how I.
No, let me use an example. Okay.
Alan's here
I'm a
sharpening his
spy.
knife.
I'm a spy, and I'm targeted to kill Aaron.
Mhm.
Okay. I don't know who Aaron is or anything like that. I don't know why
Brother.
he's being targeted. I'm just saying. I don't know why he's being targeted or anything like that. He could be a really good guy that got messed up in something he shouldn't. He could even just be some random person that someone is using as a test for me to make sure I can do it. You know, I don't
They
know.
have a really hot
you know?
wife that they want to get with.
Yeah,
and so he's just
or something. And so he's
bystander.
just in the way. And so I could potentially
She
kill
is really hot.
an
We're going with
innocent,
hypothetical
you know,
here,
person.
and that's why.
But let's use your father as an example.
Great, go to.
No,
Oh.
no. It's a great go-to. Okay, you know.
Who's gonna listen?
I know your father, and I know what he's done. Okay, and while I personally I wouldn't kill anyone. I just refuse to kill people. Okay,
Good. I'm glad, Daniel.
but if somebody was pushed over the edge because of the douchebaggery that your father pulls day in and day out, you know, I think that, you know, as a murder in that case, that wouldn't necessarily be like I said, murder is bad altogether. Don't get me wrong.
Okay.
There's
preface it there.
There's varying levels, but I think someone who's provoked someone who's just pushed someone back to a corner and that's what's caused their death is different than an assassin who's killed someone who could be completely innocent. You know, you have to be more cold-blooded to kill someone you don't know, that you don't know if they deserve it or not, than to kill someone who has done stuff to get to the point where
I could see it both ways.
they
honestly.
could feel like
you could be an assassin that's been just killing people that you didn't know, and suddenly they're like, "All right, you're gonna kill this person.
Yeah.
It's your friend."
And that's always when they turn, like when it's their girlfriend, the
Yeah.
person
Yeah.
they end up loving.
So
They're like, no, I
for
can't
some
kill
reason
her.
that's harder.
I'm talking about people you know and hate.
Yeah, that's the
People
difference.
you know
You're
and
not gonna,
like.
You're not gonna in
Yes.
cold blood kill someone you like, but the difference is if you know, like I
You
said,
might have liked the guy. You killed.
like I said, murder's wrong. Murder is so wrong.
Meat is murder.
You know,
I'm
and
sorry,
everything,
wrong
and
area.
everything like that. Okay, but if
Vegetarian.
yeah,
I got
if
it.
somebody has been such a terrible person that one person has snapped and decided that that person no longer deserves to live, maybe it's that person's karma to have been like shot or whatever. But Aaron, who just happens to have a hot wife that Mr. Moneybags over there wants, you know, he's done nothing wrong. And everything like that. So it's kind of more cold-blooded to look someone you don't know in the eyes and kill them than to look someone you do know in the eyes.
Don't worry, I had to kill for her too. So
but that's why this is hypothetical. That's just my
New word to
opinion.
trophy wife.
yeah,
That's just my
Get it?
opinion. So
See, that one's a
everyone-
hard
everyone
one, too,
continue.
because-
Well, Kylie still needs her thing too.
So does Aaron. No, Aaron went.
Aaron did his. He's an assassin.
professional assassins.
Right.
That's my creed.
I feel like morally I couldn't have victims, so it wouldn't be like I'm stealing from the average person.
Mm-hmm.
I would probably do like art theft or heist. Probably art theft,
Could anyone?
just because it'd be
Art
sexy.
theft.
It would be sexy.
It would, art theft is totally sexy.
Insurance fraud.
No.
Could anyone
Not
do what
sexy.
Dexter?
How would you enter the building? Through a rope, right? And just flipping around the entire time.
Tight
This is
black
Mission
skin tight
Yeah.
suit.
Tight
Cat
black,
suit.
exactly.
Yeah.
Wow,
the
guys.
sexiest.
Wow.
Sexy.
I could think
if
about
you're gonna have
this
sex,
close. This We're close to talking not about
having
my
anything
wife.
sexist in
Oh,
this
yeah. I
podcast.
guess that
It's
is.
clown.
It's my
No,
wife.
we weren't. You already put me in the kitchen.
Oh yeah, you're
Yeah,
right.
we already
It's
jumped
close
over
to only
that
having
bridge.
one thing sexist.
But
She said sexy.
could anyone do what Dexter did?
No one watched Dexter.
Okay, yeah, because you kind of watched.
What, did he kill people who deserved it?
Yeah.
That was basic. That was
his-
originally his.
He only killed people who had killed other people.
Yeah, I could do that. Easily.
He murdered murders.
He murdered.
What about?
But
Ooh,
there
was
I got a
one
good
still
one.
couldn't
There
do
was
that.
one time where
He
he murdered
murdered
someone
them.
that hadn't murdered anyone. I think.
Yeah, I refuse to murder anyone because I think it's
Okay.
not my place to make a decision that you can't take back.
But he would also take
He'd cut
the
them
peop-
up, right?
He'd cut them up, but I don't care
It
how
doesn't
you
matter
do
how
it.
you do it.
I like how we just
Okay.
glazed over that. He brutally cut them into pieces, but whatever.
whatever.
Let's continue.
He murdered them.
But
They were
the
dead.
fact is, they are dead. But he would like take them from the police. So like, imagine like, what would you rather? Would you rather the police being able to catch them, or like someone murdering?
Someone murdered.
I
That's death note
Well,
right there.
that also becomes a different line because that it's at that point where you want to ask yourself, do you believe that the legal system of the United States doles out the correct punishment for
No.
people? And the truth is
Absolutely
I
not.
don't, you know. And so
They killed the wrong.
while
people.
I don't condone killing, I wouldn't necessarily bother worrying about that.
If I was certain of their guilt
Yeah.
and they were eventually going to get to death row anyway,
Mhm.
then I would probably be okay killing them for money.
For
It
money.
makes it okay if we say that.
What about kidnapping, guys? What? How
Is that
where do
worse
you,
or better?
worse or better than murder?
And
There-
like,
it comes
It's
to
worse
that
than
psychological
heist
part.
because it deals with
but
What do you do?
psychologically
what about
hurting
if it's
people.
yeah? What if
Okay.
it's not kidnapping for ransom, but kidnap and then you raise them as your own child?
Yeah,
That's
like what
worse.
Well,
that's
that's
worse
crazy.
than murder.
That's worse than murder?
creepy.
That's worse than murder.
What if you're kidnapping them to get them out of a horrible situation?
Then that's not bad.
Huh.
But is
That's
it?
more like
Isn't it?
There's the
Adopting?
moral question.
But are
But
you
you're not
adopting?
adopting.
I'm adopting
But
you without.
here's the
You're
question.
You're
Here's the
committing
question.
a crime. It doesn't matter.
Yeah, you're committing a
committing a
crime, but
crime.
I don't think that's a bad thing.
And then you're
okay.
lying
If
to
you're
that child.
kidnapping it because the child is like, let's say, and you have to know for sure, like we know for sure, the kid is being beaten every day by his drunk father. Okay.
Not a weak father.
Strong
If it was a
father.
weak father.
Maybe
keep
I
he's
it
said
drunk.
drunk.
I thought you said strong.
By a
Father.
strong father.
His mother
His
is
firm
His
father.
mother's out of the
More
picture
than I
because
miss.
his father killed her in one of his drunken rages. You take
You've got
Whoa,
quite
jeez.
the
Holy
back.
crap.
You've got quite the backstory.
I'm sure you're
Yeah,
not raising that
okay. This is
kid.
just an idea. This is just an idea.
But
And he's pissed because he killed his wife, and he's just drinks his sorrows away. And while he drinks, he beats his kid, and he drinks every night. You take that kid away, and you get him somewhere better. That is not a crime.
So
but
what child
that's
services?
so that would be the minimum
But
amount.
that's the
before you could kidnap.
No,
that kid?
no, I.
You had
I-
to kill the
In a drunken
and then
But no, here's the
Drinking
difference.
every
Here's the
night.
difference.
Feeding
If
his
the
child.
mother is still alive and the mother and the child are being beaten, then what you do is you take the mother and the child and you get them somewhere else.
Okay, but what if
starting
he
a
didn't
new
kill
life.
the mother?
That's what I'm saying.
Okay, I know, but what if like she's gone out of the picture?
Okay.
He has the kid. He didn't kill the mother, and like
Okay.
every other Saturday, he like bats the kid around a little bit.
No, that's back
Okay.
and forth like a ball of yarn.
How
with
is
a cat.
how is life any other time?
It's great. He's like the best dad ever, except for every other Saturday.
Okay, well,
I mean,
that's
it's pretty brutal though. Those
That's
But, like-
the problem. That's the problem is that shit doesn't exist.
I'm
Okay,
sure
it does
know.
not exist. No,
Yeah, Daniel.
no,
Daniel,
no.
do you know
Okay,
like
a
the
father.
every story
Why
has
is
been
the
written.
okay? Then tell
All
me.
your hypotheticals can exist, but all hypotheticals cannot
Because
exist.
the
But here's
second
the thing.
the
This
second and
isn't-
fourth
the other ones were
Saturday-
hypotheticals. They were paradoxes, for one.
I know,
No,
but we've
yeah.
had hypotheticals
It's because it's the
before
second
that.
and fourth
Alright.
Saturday remind him of his wife who left him, so he beats the kid around because the kid
Because
reminds
the
him
kid
of his
looks
wife
just
as
like his
well.
wife.
Okay, but here's the question: Why is the father only being reminded of the wife on the second and fourth Saturday?
one
of the
knows.
month?
Yeah, I mean,
Okay.
come on, he's schizophrenic, Dan. Are you
Okay.
really gonna get it?
Okay,
No,
he's
it's-
schizophrenic. You can't give me that.
We take it back. We take it
Party
back.
foul.
We take it
I
back.
was just joking.
Okay, no, okay. There is no logical reason why a father would be
Oh my
butterflies
gosh.
and rainbows for 13 out of 14 days,
Okay, fine.
and then the 14th day he
Why do you have to
becomes
stipulate
Satan.
this?
You just wait till I have my
You guys
kids.
are stipulating
Why does he
this.
why does he have to beat the kid every single night?
It doesn't
and
have
always
to.
be drunk?
No, it doesn't have to be every single night.
That's what you said though.
No, that was
That
the
was just-
story.
What if it
that
was
just
every
the story I
Saturday?
gave.
That doesn't sound very realistic, Daniel.
Okay, fine. Not very realistic. Okay, let's just assume mother's out of the picture. Life at home's just not good. Okay, the father may not be beating him, but the father
Just
definitely
every other Saturday.
no, the father just definitely doesn't like the kid. Okay, because if the father genuinely liked the kid even a little bit, he's never gonna lay a finger on that kid. Okay, the
Except
second.
for every other Saturday.
No.
Okay, talking from experience, I would have been happy to have been kidnapped because that was my
See?
situation.
But like,
See,
how old
there
would the
you
kid
go.
be? Like, would he be able
Okay.
to
And
understand?
yeah, I
No.
was below the age of 12.
Let's use Azure as an example. Okay, Azure's
I don't know if that's a
5.
good idea.
No. Just hear me out. Okay, loving mother. Okay, loves the
I
crap
don't
out
know,
of her.
where is she? Oh, Kylie, hi.
I know. I hear her father is really
Where's
drunk every other
Azure
Saturday.
now?
She's out having fun with her relatives.
I hear that the
Boom.
person who
Okay.
the father who raises Azure though gets drunk every other Saturday.
No. Let me get the hypothetical. Loving mother. Okay, I'm her stepfather.
Gets drunk.
You know, I'm not gonna deny that Azure annoys the crap out of me like Aaron used to when he was younger.
Sometimes, not every other Saturday.
No. She's just like Aaron, and I just don't work well with that. But not once have I ever considered hitting her. Not once have I done anything to her that was, mean or ill-willed. Okay. If
I can vouch because he never
I
touched me.
never touched
Either.
Aaron,
Except with a
okay?
sock.
No, that was my dad.
Yeah.
No,
Okay.
he
Oh, the
threw
sock
sock
says.
at you, and he's like,
Okay,
I didn't
but
throw it that
I
hard.
I don't do it well. So
I was
okay,
doing it for fun.
so here's the deal. If I had any ill will towards her, it wouldn't be something that would just pop up every once in a while. It would happen any chance I felt I had. Okay, and every morning she goes off to work and I have time with Azure.
This
Okay.
isn't like
No, I'm just
Should you
saying.
be worried when you leave
I
for
have
work?
the opportunity to.
No, I'm just saying. That's the kind of time period that a man who was not happy with someone would take advantage of doing that kind of stuff.
not
Okay.
every other Saturday.
Not just every other Saturday. And if it was just the father in the picture, no mother in the picture, I guarantee you there would be no end to the torment if he didn't like the kid. Okay? So in that
He does
case,
like the kid.
there's no situation that involves
I'm like-
a 13-day period of sunshines and rainbows.
I
He's
got
just
it.
stuck.
I got it.
Well, like,
I got it.
Is kidnapping really the best option? Like,
Every
where-
2 weeks.
No,
yeah.
like, you could go with
like-
child
Like,
service.
I know my
Wait.
dad loved
Whoa,
me.
whoa, whoa,
I'm out.
Yeah, this is why I
So-
do
whoa. You don't time out. You just yell.
Yeah.
I'll smack you.
Boom.
So with kidnapping. It depends on what you're doing after kidnapping.
Yeah.
If you know that the child is in a bad situation, then you can kidnap them from the bad situation and take them directly to child services and explain what's going on. Say, I was worried for their health, so I took them after school instead of letting them go home.
And then, if you want to adopt the child, you say, I would like to be put up as one of the potential
the parents say,
adoptees.
no, we're actually good parents. They come by, they
And they come by on Monday through Friday and then leave Saturday. And they're like, oh, it was just fine. He was a great father.
And then he comes back from his bi-weekly book club after he's been drinking.
That's also when, if they do that, you start going all burn notice on them, and you get evidence and stuff. You trick them into doing things.
I didn't realize burn notice.
They have tons of episodes about that.
Well,
the abusive father that they're trying to get the kid away from.
What if it's the other way around though?
What if the kid's abusing the father?
An abusive mother. Same situation. I'm using a father because that tends to be more common.
Yeah.
But I believe that it could
And
be
if
a
it's
brother or sister that has dominated the parents and is making a bad situation.
And
and
if it's
Sexually.
an abusive mother, you could just marry her and then divorce her and take custody.
Okay.
That would be so.
Then you could also, put your program in that.
This. Okay, so
we're not going to discuss the bi-weekly book club this father goes to, or
okay, enough. Okay, so
we're done with the
I
abusive
think
bi-weekly father.
Sort of.
What?
Yeah.
What?
He was in a war,
Oh my
and so
gosh.
he has PTSD.
Okay,
On
then you
Saturdays.
take the kid and you make sure the father checks into a mental institution.
No one
to
knows
help with
that
his
he has
PTSD.
PTSD.
You know, that's why you're kidnapping the kid.
No,
You don't know. You
in
just
the
know the kid gets
situations we
beaten.
know.
Okay,
but we don't know
then,
that's why
no,
the kid.
Then you
was so
kidnap
close
the
to
kid.
finishing.
You kidnap the kid. The cops go over. They find out he has PTSD. The kid
diagnosed.
Because a psych evaluation is done on the parent.
Yeah. After you
And it's
find out
on a Saturday.
You don't need
It's
to
fine except
you
for
don't
the
need to
Saturday.
you don't need to be having a fucking episode to be diagnosed with something. If they hear from the kid that it's every 2 Saturdays, maybe they'll show up one of those
The
Saturdays.
kid's immune to wait and shove it in his face.
Man, Daniel,
No, you're just
sometimes.
adding all these things. Okay. That's the end. This is the end. Okay, everyone.
That was
thank
the
you. This was the
Panda
podcast.
Moni
That was
This
the
was the.
Panda
Monium,
podcast.
I'm Daniel.
Levi
Alan.
And Aaron and our
And
special
Kylie.
guest.
who enjoyed everything.
Thank you for listening.
Alright. Final thoughts?
You
took him to
Murder is
chairs.
wrong, and we don't
Then
know
the
about
sudden
kidnapping.
Daniel.